This is fucking ridiculous, Hardy. For those who don't know what's going on, Matt Hardy makes a YouTube entry and shows it for the world to see called Goodbye. And of course it has a date. It's been removed, so you can't see it anymore apparently. It was moved 24 hours ago. And I'll get to the reason why a little bit later in this. But let me just set it up for you. He had a little video. He says he doesn't have much time. He has a few hours, a few minutes left, which obviously makes you think suicide. And let me just tell you right now, suicides are not a joke, and it pisses me the fuck off when he did this, because he did the whole thing. He did his birth date like it was like he was gonna die and just leave the channel up for people to remember him, and have like his birth date and his death date or apparent death date, because it's basically the stuff you see on a fucking tombstone. Well, a few hours after that, there was 30 or more phone calls for the I don't remember, it was like Cameron or whatever police department drove over to Jeff Hardy's house and checked if Matt was okay. And then they went to Matt's house, and then the fucking idiot just shook his hand like it was nothing. Now, previously, Matt Hardy was released from clusterfuck TNA for running into a tree. That's right. He drove into a tree, and let me tell you, that tree probably did a better bump and sold better than Cena ever could in his entire fucking life. And that is a goddamn fact. And it's pretty sad, too. Because the man fucking lands on his fucking elbows and then constitutes that as a bump. But then again, this isn't the Cena show right now. It will never be that. Fuck Cena. Anyway, the fact that you have like law enforcement come to your house because you are thinking of killing yourself. Now, he didn't do it because a few hours ago today, he made a video called Rebirth, which I was thinking was going to happen, which reminds me of his Angelic Diablo character back in the day, which was fucking retarded. It's more of a contradiction than Starburst and skinny fat ass could ever be. It's ridiculous. And honestly, I wish you were fucking killed yourself, Matt. I want to see what would have happened. I don't care what I say on here. And honestly, Hardy, both of you, Matt and Jeff, are jokes to this profession. Matt and Jeff are both used to be kind of mid-card, huge stars. We believe behind those lines, between those lines a little bit. And fucking, you guys, one's a druggie, and the other one's a druggie that's a retard. And a fat piece of shit at that. You guys actually were good. Now you're a fucking joke. And the company that you're in is a fucking joke. Let me tell you something about TNA. A few years ago when it began, they had the NWA backing them. The National Wrestling Alliance. One of the most honorable and most recognized and respected companies in the entire wrestling world. And they let them use the NWA Tag Team titles, the NWA World Heavyweight title, and NWA/TNA X Division title. The NWA World title? One of the most, if not prestigious and best belt that you want to hold in your entire wrestling career. People like Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, no, it wasn't Jerry Lawler. He had a Southern version of the belt. But look at the list. The Briscoes, the Funks, Dusty Rhodes. And I mean, the list goes on and on. And hell, most recently, Adam Scrap Iron Pierce, Colt Cabana, the Sheik have held that title. It is the belt that is most honored, most respected, and it was in your fucking company. And you guys were actually pretty decent. You had their tag team titles, one of the most prestigious tag team titles in the world, if not the only belts that matter, as well as the NWA title, the only belt that matters. in this sport because it's one of the oldest, most recognized, respected. I could go on and on about the NWA World Heavyweight Title, but the fact that you had it in your fucking company. Kurt Angle was the last one to hold it in your company on a technicality because as of that night, the NWA said, fuck it, get rid of TNA. Well, not necessarily get rid of TNA, but their belts were no longer associated with the National Wrestling Alliance. And that is a big blow to your company. Not only did the NWA say, fuck you, they took the belt, they didn't even recognize Kurt Angle as an NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Which he still technically is, so technically he does have a 16 title reign if you're counting that belt. Which is ridiculous. You had the... What do I fucking say to you guys? What can I fucking say to make you understand how huge of a loss that is to your company? If you have the NWA backing you for several years since your inception, and they get rid of you like you're fucking trash, like the TNA is now. Sure, they have potential stars, but it's ridiculous. And now you have this shit. You get released because you ran into a fucking tree. You almost kill yourself. And now you say you're reborn? If you want to be fucking reborn, why don't you crucify your fucking self, Matt Hardy? And hell, I'm a fucking Christian. I believe in a second life. I believe a life after death. A lot of people do that. But then again, some of those people are atheists, some people are Buddhists, Jews, whatever, and I respect their religion. And at the end of the day, when we all die, we will know who is right and who is wrong. Because we will all be in the same place, hopefully. But this isn't the time for religion. But seriously, fucking Hardy, Jesus, Matt, what the fuck? Your brother is actually better than you. He was always better than you. But now you're both fucking jokes. It's ridiculous. One can't even stay in court and keep a secret. The other one's close to dying. And let me say, how the fuck do you get Reby Sky? Can someone explain that to me? Did you drag the fuck out of her just so she would like you? Does any of this make sense? I don't think so. But you know what? Shit happens. But seriously, if you want to be reborn, why don't you crucify yourself and try to come back, Matt Hardy? Because you want to be an angelic Diablo. This is the most retarded shit I've ever heard. The end of Matthew, all caps. And back to the old version, clusterfuck 3.0, or whatever the fuck you're calling yourself now, Matt Hardy. You are a joke. Go die. I honestly mean that from the bottom of my heart. I actually respected you. But now, you're just pissing on everyone that supported you, everyone that helped you, everyone that cheered or booed or whatever the fuck they did for you. Just fuck you, Hardy. Fuck you. Ridiculous piece of shit. I hope you die.